Oye, te habla tío Sabio Vega. This is Sabio Vega and you watching True Heel Hit a mi manera o pa' la calle.
Rob Van Dam, listen to True Hill Heat. Pow.
Hey guys, it's Dan Rosa and welcome to True Heel Heat.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube and Facebook for AEWramble episode 106. Shake it off. Reviewing the August 9th, 2023 edition of AEW Dynamite. Of course, if we are here for AEWramble, I am joined by the man of 50,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and AEW. It is Jimmy Macram.
Absolutely. AEWramble. At least for the next 2 weeks. 21 days.
Will you stop? Whoa, this guy. Come on. Then
y'all guys see Collision?
Can we move you to Collision Court?
Can't make any promises.
Oh, look at that. He's failing on us. It's not. Oh, Collision better than Dynamite. I just don't want to do work. That's
it is. Collision is better than Dynamite. That is fact.
No, it's not.
Chat. Anybody? I know it's been like 3 weeks. Does anybody want to back him up on this? I've never been in this position.
I didn't even like Collision all that much this week, but it had one of the best. No, I didn't. I really didn't. I liked FTR.
I said. I bet you didn't.
I liked FTR.
Collision. You clearly
so did a lot of people.
Nobody.
Yeah, I actually got some people on my comments on Twitter. Check it out. But as I said, I like the opener. I like the main event, and I also. It had the best promo ever done on Collision. Christian turning heel on his daughter.
That was amazing. Sorry.
But yes, sound off in the live chat. You can sound off. Let us know what you thought about last night's AEW Dynamite. Of course, if you're feeling generous, you can send a super chat donation. They'll always help out the channel so much, and it will make sure that we highlight your comment on screen with us as well. And, of course, drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And, of course, like I said, once again, sound off. And if you're watching on demand, you can sound off in the comments down below and give us your thoughts on AEW Dynamite. So, Jimmy, you always use the opening of the show to ask you about things that is not referring to the show we're reviewing. So what did you think?
Before you go off, can you tell me what tweet I'm looking for? All these dolts who think fucking Dynamite's better than Collision.
It was last week Monday.
Thank you, sir.
Last week Monday was August.
Continue.
No, July 31st. But yes. What did you think about
blocking these
SummerSlam?
people.
What did you think about SummerSlam?
Block that dummy. Block that dummy.
What did you think about SummerSlam?
Oh,
Jesus.
sorry.
Did you pay attention to what we're doing here?
SummerSlam has the exact same feel I have about most Dynamites, where when I run the show down, I go, that was a B, that was a B, that was an A, that was an A minus, that was a B minus. Overall grade, C plus. How I came to that conclusion, I don't know.
Dude, I was like I have to honestly say to you, you preaching facts, because I've never reviewed a show where I gave like 4 or 5 matches over 4 stars, and then at the end of the night, I'm just like, the LVP is Triple H. Even Romeo said Triple H was the LVP because the booking was the thing that really held the show back. It made a couple of unwise decisions. First of all, having a WWE style MMA rules matchup with 2 people that the crowd are not interested in and are both heels to them, that's a mistake. Agreed. Booking just the order, the match order placement, like Cody wins, early on in the show, and then it's a whole bunch of like disappointing finishes throughout the end of the show. Like even the babyface winning where Seth beat Finn, that was the least most interesting option from that matchup. Finn winning and having to deal with someone in his group having Money in the Bank was number 1. 2 was Seth winning and Damian cashing in Money in the Bank. And then the third most least likely and least interesting option was Seth winning and everything staying the same in Dissension in Judgment Day. That's what we were left with. So we were going to do that. Then,
I didn't need 3 matches.
And then the main event, too damn long. And then it ends with, I think Vince Russo took Triple H's chair for a moment because Jimmy Uso turning heel makes no sense on the story that's been told this year, especially.
Oh, I disagree. The only way I agree with that is if he does what he's fucking promoted to do on Friday, which is to acknowledge the tribal chief. Then I'm in agreement. But if he just said, I don't want my brother to win because fuck that motherfucker, then I'm behind it.
But it doesn't. But then that kind of retcons all his previous choices. All his previous choices were under the kind of the story that they always do everything for each other. Jimmy only joined the bloodline because of Jay. Jimmy only turned on the bloodline because of Jay. Jay turned his back on the bloodline because of Jimmy. So I just wanted something, or like just a little seed to kind of set that up where it was another situation where I feel like they picked the least most interesting option of the finish when they could have went totally different ways, especially with the one I suggested. The one I suggested was the best.
This was what?
Well, Jimmy comes out and tries to help Jay, but he ends up super kicking Jay. So that's a little seed to set up the Jimmy and Jay.
We all have lost our fucking mind.
But no, that's not the finish. I never said that was a finish. Let me
continue.
Jay, he can't beat him with that. He can't beat him with the spear. He starts freaking out again, similar to what he did at Money in the Bank. And Solo Sikoa comes in, once again tells him, get off your ass. Let's finish him. Spike and spear. Laid him out 1, 2, 3. Roman wins. They go up the aisle. The elders are there. The Wild Samoans and Rikishi. Alpha's about to put the lay on Roman, and then Rikishi stops him and says, "Put it on Solo." Solo's the real reason he won. Solo is the real tribal chief because the elders brought him into the bloodline. They're basically training him. They're basically grooming him to be the
You can't. I will allow retcon booking, but you can't then take it in a different direction. We have to start someplace. You change the storyline, and we end up in the same place. So we got to get to the same spot where Roman's King Dick, Solo is his bodyguard, but we don't do the Jimmy.
He is King Dick, but the tribal chief status is what's up.
But then that's the story going forward, which is Roman not being tribal chief. So we got to get rid of that part.
Then you have 2 different stories. You have Jimmy and Jay, and then you have Solo and Roman.
That's not the fantasy booking. Fantasy booking is you got to get me to the spot we're at now without the Jimmy heel turn. That's it. They ask you to add stuff. Then The Rock comes out and rock bottom. Then here comes Triple H. And then here comes Stone Cold.
Okay,
No,
then do the same finish. But once again, you're just you're emphasizing the point that Solo is the real reason why Roman keeps winning these matches. Because then that would be 3 times. That would be Drew, Cody, and now Jay. Big time spots. He's helped Roman defend the title and retain the title.
I don't hate that. Though I think
you don't have to. You don't have to do the lay part. Just cut out the lay part. It's the same thing.
However, I think we all be disappointed with that too. I think people just
not as disappointed as some people were for
over
Jimmy.
This.
People saying that this storyline jumped the shark, which I think is a little too far, but it did feel like a Vince Russo moment, a swerve for the sake of the
to be fair, I think we've all kind of said that multiple times throughout the story. And
I haven't.
In the back couple. You've never said that the bloodlines. Let's not use those words. The bloodline's over. The bloodline's gotten boring. This is stale. We've been doing this for too long.
I don't think saying it's jumped the shark and saying that it's boring right now because Roman's not around is. I don't think that's one in the same.
Well, you're giving Wrestling fans too much credit for understanding what lingo means. I bet most of you.
No, I'm not giving wrestling fans credit. I'm literally giving you credit for knowing that that's 2 different things.
They don't know what jump the shark means. See what you're thinking, boy. You better even know where that came from. Come on, Nick. Don't do that. Because you have a real avatar, I'm giving you a pass.
Sound off in the chat. We got Dan in the chat saying, good afternoon, y'all. We got Steven Chambers who says, what's up, SP3 and Jimmy. We got Frantic World who says the same thing. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. We also got Annika saying, is Jimmy still quitting?
Yes. I love that. I'm answering the chat's questions because they care. Why wouldn't I?
Roxy saying that was fucking hilarious. She also says, hey, Jimmy, buddy, really trying to tie down Rhea.
Absolutely. A little late, but you know what? Fuck it.
Go for it, man. Go for it. Buddy Matthews, man. You're bigging up Collision to put him into a false sense of security. We got Steven saying, wake up, Jimmy. We also got...
I was awake. I'm just looking for these psychopaths who think Dynamite's better than Collision. I'm awake. I'm just doing things that aren't important to the show.
Fair. Roxy saying SummerSlam was lackluster this year. Yeah.
And no, we don't agree.
It was it wasn't lackluster. It was a letdown because I think that's a great word. The quality of WWE pay-per-views this year has been incredibly high, and the card was stacked. So it's just like that's why I said like. This is where one time where I'm really kind of forced to blame Triple H because I'm like, I can't blame the performers. They all performed pretty well. Like, it had to be the booking. He had to be the booking.
True or not, that phrasing is wild. I'm forced to blame Triple H. That's weird.
I'm forced to blame.
Absolutely. I was forced to fuck Holly Berry. I can't believe she made me do that. Yeah, I think I've been wanting to do for forever.
Made me do that. Roxy saying Steph winning was the worst decision. Boring as fuck.
Yeah, that's weird. It's like in a vacuum, it's probably like a B plus, but outside of a vacuum where storylines matter, it's like a C something.
Yeah, it was a fantastic match. That was my match of the night, actually. Seth and Finn. I thought that they exceeded the expectations the most out of any matchup, and then that finish. I was like, if you really wanted to make Finn Balor look like a dumbass, then that's the finish I would book. This dude picked up a briefcase leading with his head. He led with his head to pick up a briefcase, Jimmy. The dude can't even pick up a briefcase. Like, sheesh. We got here Negro Buck who says, totally agree with you about that SP3 WWE jumped the shark on that one. No.
I put words in his mouth, sir.
Did not say that. We also got Elijah who says Jimmy never wanted Jay wanted to be tribal chief. That has been seeded and said multiple times of the last 3 years. Then why did Jimmy help Jay in his first matches against Roman? Why did he come and try to save Jay in the first 2 matches against Roman?
Fuck.
Why did Jimmy not step in when Roman was about to give the lay to Jay during the tribal court? There is literally multiple logic holes that go against your statement here, Elijah. Like there's probably more times that has been basically debunked than it has been said or teased. We also got here Annika, who says, now SP3, you said yourself that Triple H doesn't have anything to do with the bloodline story. And y'all told me every time that he did. Y'all told me every time he did.
See, that's the thing. I get you guys. He's my friend. He's my friend, so I can be nice. Go ahead,
let me finish. I literally named like 5 other things wrong with the show before I even talked about that. So negate that. Everything else wrong with the show is Triple H.
Very well done. I'll let that slide. I totally forgot about that. You know, Paul Heyman and Roman, they really want to do it.
And what did you say? Well, Triple H deserves some credit. You said I said
I give Paul Heyman credit. I give Vince credit. I give Triple H credit. I give Roman credit. I said that. That was me. That you the one that said fuck that big nose motherfucker.
So you're acting like I didn't say other things wrong with the show. Okay, cool. Sorry, bro. We also got Negro Buck here who says SummerSlam definitely felt underwhelming.
That's a great word.
Yes. You guys are coming up with some great words here. But let's talk about AEW Dynamite now. AEW Dynamite last night was from the Nationwide Arena in Dayton, Ohio. What did you think about the crowd last night for Dynamite, Jimmy?
Boo. A bunch of meth heads. Who cares? They're fucking terrible. Sorry. It is what it is.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I don't know, people. I don't know. I can't with you sometimes. I just shake my head. It's just like, really? Was that necessary? Like, the show kicked off in Dayton with the Jericho Appreciation Society already in the ring for a mandatory meeting. Jericho is called to the ring and tries to calm things down. Daniels Garcia cuts him off and rants about how Jericho will never pick them. He goes off and he says that he's done everything for Chris Jericho. He's left his friends, his family, his heroes, turned his back on them, and he can't do this. So he said he can't do this anymore. So he's out. And Garcia basically dances in Jericho's face before leaving out of the ring. Jake Hager is the next up, and he says he's known Jericho longer than any of them. And while he liked this hat, he does not appreciate Jericho anymore, so he's out as well. Ty Mello is feeling sick, but it's not because of the baby. We get Jericho trying to talk them in, saying that how much they've grown being in Jericho Appreciation Society. Ty says that she'll be back in a year after this baby's born, and she'll be a champion, and she'll do it without Chris Jericho because she quits as well. Anna Jay is next up. She says she quits because Jericho is selfish. Angelo Parker is next, and he says that he's been, a loyal soldier, and he was felt honored being picked into the Jericho Appreciation Society. He's given everything to Jericho with nothing left to give. So they're both out, leaving Matt Menard and Sammy Guevara in the ring. Menard talks about living under the wing and living on the ring of Chris Jericho and wanting to be there. And he said he used his first check to buy a Chris Jericho t-shirt, and then when his wife was 8 months pregnant and he didn't have a job, it was Jericho who heard his story and brought him under his wing. Menard gets why people he looked up to hate Chris Jericho though, and he walks out. We then get Sammy Guevara, who's been the loyal soldier of Jericho, probably the longest of anybody. And Guevara says that he isn't quitting. He said he isn't quitting because he says that he hasn't quit any other time. But once Jericho figures this out, maybe he'll be around again. And he leaves out, and Jericho is left in the ring with no one and nothing to say. Following the break, though, we get a little bit of a follow-up following this segment as Don Callis and Renee Paquette meet up with Chris Jericho backstage. Callis comes up to the distraught Jericho and says he's sorry if he caused any of that. Jericho has an answer for Callis about joining his family, and they'll announce it next week. Why not right now? That's what I was asking. But what did you think about the Jericho Appreciation Society mandatory meeting, Jimmy? Couldn't hear you. I think you're muted or don't have it plugged in.
I am.
There you
What the
go.
fuck is going on? Hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
This is a sign from God. I shouldn't be fucking doing this.
What is? Why are you so angry? I literally get asked that all the time. Why is Jimmy so angry?
It's fucking. So I don't listen. Clearly shouldn't be doing the show anymore. God doesn't want me to do the show. Fucking one mic stopped working. I changed the mic out. This mic stops working. Can't fucking hear it, man. There you go.
Are you good now?
Ironically, it happened as soon as we stopped talking about WWE. We started talking about AEW. Is that not a sign from God?
So you should be on our WWE reviews.
I did watch Raw. It was very good Raw.
It was.
LA
I'm
Knight.
nothing but honest. I'm the only one honest here, but it's okay.
Honest?
But okay, continue. What did you think?
What did we call you last week? Logical? I think was the word we used. Logical but unreasonable. That was the word.
Yeah, I'm unreasonable. I'm not unbiased. I am biased.
Okay.
I'm biased towards good wrestling. If something's good, I'll say it's good. If something's bad, I'll say it's bad. But continue. What did you think about the Jericho Appreciation Society mandatory meeting?
This is all that's wrong with AEW in like a nutshell. This is how long has this been going on? Like this part of it? Let's say 6 weeks.
Like
8
3 weeks.
No,
3 weeks.
longer than that. Longer than that.
Probably a month or so. A month or so.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 6 weeks. It's a month and a half.
It only started after Forbidden Door. We're only 4 weeks from Forbidden Door.
What was the Forbidden Door match for Jericho in it?
The Sting match. And then the week after that, he did the Sting matchup, the tag team match, where Sting almost died. And then the week after that, that's when Callis approached him. So that's July.
Door?
Forbidden Door was June 26th. So it wasn't until the beginning of July the story started with JAS.
So it's 5 weeks. You really arguing me over a fucking week? Unreasonable. He's unreasonable.
I said a month. I said a month. You're arguing with me over a week. What are we doing here? Could you tell me what you thought about this segment?
Yes, this segment happened already. It happened over the previous 5 weeks. We saw this. We literally saw them all get mad at Chris Jericho. And then fucking tell him to get his shit together. If he does it, something's gonna happen. And then they all left again. Didn't this motherfucker give back his hat? What are we doing?
I was like, yeah. When he gave back the hat, I was like, didn't you already give him the hat though? Like, what are we doing?
It's just overall though, in a vacuum. Didn't use that word a lot today.
You have.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Like if you just tuned in, you did see the past 5 weeks. Oh, that's interesting, I guess. Fun. But otherwise, if you watch the shit like me, then fucking you're annoyed that you just sit through this fucking 10 minutes of the thing we already saw. Fair enough. You know what? Don't do that. Collision. Oh shit! That reminds me. I had to restart my computer because I was concerned I was messing with my mic. I gotta get back on my Twitter search.
You're ridiculous. But nah, I liked everybody, kind of what everybody said and their reasoning for leaving the JAS. It made some sense. I just don't hope that they kind of ruin this anything good from this segment by having Jericho turn down Callis and go baby.
That'd be my guess, actually.
I think that would be a mistake. That would be a mistake in my opinion.
That's my guess, actually. Did we talk about I know we're doing Dynamite. We usually talk about everything except Dynamite. Did we talk about that fucking homegirl who blasted the women's locker room?
Yes, we talked about that on True Hill Heat this week. But if you wanted to talk about it, you can feel free, sir.
I appreciate all these women coming together to yell at this lady. I appreciate that this took place. I appreciate that this took place while MJF was a babyface, so he could say something nice.
Yes, MJF. He didn't say anything nice. That was not nice towards her.
Well, yes, that's very true. It's very rude. I hope that they're all right and that lady is wrong. And I heard that Britt bought some Thunder Rosa stuff, which gives me positive vibes moving forward.
What happened?
Unlike the Britt Baker bought some Thunder Rosa gear. That's what Saraya
Oh, she
said.
did?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. Okay.
Olive Branch has been extended and accepted.
Yeah.
Very
I mean,
impressed.
that would be great. Because if they work this well when they hate each other, imagine if they actually get along.
I agree. They clearly have bigger balls than Matt Jackson. But we're not getting into that. We're talking about something else. Putting it forward to work together. We're not gonna go
Jesus Christ.
Something else.
Jesus. It only took like 3 years. It only took 3 years, right? Yeah. Okay.
It's a segue. Yeah. It's a segue. I was segueing into the Matt Jackson.
It hasn't even been a year for the Elite and stuff. But anyway,
his mouth is healed. Stop being a fruit.
Why do you always have to use this type of verbiage?
I'm just saying. You get punched in the mouth. Move on with your fucking life. Jesus.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
All right, that's on me. Fair enough.
You actually can admit that. Okay. So that's on me. We got Trey in the chat. Thanks for joining us, Trey. Negro Buck saying probably to Daddy Magic for his promo, our props, I guess. We got Negro Buck who said Garcia killed me with that dance. I love that he used it in a babyface way.
That was fucking great. It's so over the top.
It is so great. It is so great.
What the fuck is this goddamn thing? I've been scrolling through your fucking page, watching G1 Climax things from fucking once now.
You didn't July 31st. Go on that journey. You can wait till I send you the link when we're done. You think you can go on that journey? Keep scrolling. All right. Anyway, Roxy saying for the billionth time, I was expecting Anna Jay to come out with Jungle Boy. I don't think we're gonna get that, unfortunately.
Nope.
Chase saying very worthy LVP candidate is Daddy Magic right now. Why? He sounds like the most New Yorker Canadian I've ever heard. He should be an MVP.
Absolutely.
We got Trey who says, wait, didn't Sammy quit when MJF was in the inner circle, or am I tripping? You are 100% right, he did. Because that's when that whole thing with Impact happened. How Sammy killed the Impact relationship.
He absolutely did and got no punishment for it. I wonder how that's affected his behavior since. Eddie Kingston had to correct it. And Andrade had to correct it.
Look at this. Look at this. You got your friend G Loke who says, why so mad? I
thought it was a good show. In a vacuum, yes, absolutely. Actually didn't hate those 2 hours I watched. Thank God.
Never seen someone who is this miserable in life. Roxy saying, oh, SP3. I think it's gonna happen. That look Jericho gave says he's not joining. I know, Roxy. That's why I'm just being hopeful. I'm being hopeful that it doesn't happen.
He doesn't join, and then the JAS rejoins him because he showed loyalty. And they'll all be baby faces because they're also fucking. And I'm just like
oh God! Like, who wants to cheer these people other than Garcia? There's no one in this group I want to cheer.
Even a little bit.
Garcia is the only one. He's the only one. It should be everybody goes back except for Garcia.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yes.
Just watch that group burn from the outside.
And I clapped. I clapped for Garcia though, because I do love the fact when they bring up stuff. If you have a good memory, when Garcia said, "I betrayed heroes for you," I was like, yeah, that was the last time you were this over. you have to work and create a dance to get back over this much.
Right? The fuck? No, it's over now.
Great. Roxy said Jimmy's hatred for Matt Jackson is on another level, although there's always TK.
I will freely admit, my Matt Jackson, the fact that these two are so close together in hatred is egregious because TK is a booker and deserves way more hatred. But you cannot watch Matt Jackson, especially next to Nick. Watch their entrance. You can't tell me one of them is not distinctly more natural than the other one. You can't tell me. You can't. I refuse to believe you people don't see what I see. I refuse to believe.
I don't see it. Anyway, next up, We had a rematch of Double or Nothing 2022, as it was the Hardys going up against the aforementioned Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. This one was much better than Double or Nothing 2022, mainly because everybody seemed to be sober. We get early on the risky business by the Young Bucks. They seemed like they had a pep in their step, and they just worked a matchup that the Hardys could work. Where I think Jeff only went to the top rope 3 times, where he hit a whisper in the wind on both Bucks for a 2 count on Nick. He went to the top rope for a swanton for a near fall that Matt broke up, and he went to the top rope for Whisper in the Wind again, which I think Matt super kicked his leg, and he did a ugly back bump onto the mat from the top rope. But other than that, they isolated Matt Hardy, and gave him the BTE trigger to pick up the win. This match going 11 minutes, 10 seconds. Once again, like I said, first and foremost, this could have been far worse and was a pretty good matchup to open the show. But the more important part was about the post-match. After the matchup, the Matt and Nick Jackson showing respect to the Hardys. Then they grabbed the mic with Nick Jackson doing all the talking here, Jimmy, which I know you were happy about, as he gets on the mic and he says, FTR. And this brings out the AEW World Tag Team Champions following their challenge to the Young Bucks for the third match of their trilogy at All In at Wembley Stadium. And all that's left to say from Nick Jackson when FTR gets in the ring, taking in the reaction from the fans chanting All In, All In. Then there's fans chanting FTR, there's fans chanting Young Bucks. It seems like they were just excited to have these two teams back in the ring again, and all Nick Jackson has to say is All In, and he drops the mic, and it is made official. We get the graphic right after this. All In London.
Just look at this picture.
FTR versus the Young Bucks 3 for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. What do you think about this match being made? What did you think about the Hardys versus the Bucks? And do you think that this was the right choice for the tag team title match at All In?
Look at this fucking graphic. Who's this cool person on that graphic? Like, Beast for fucking real. Oh my, look at that face. He's like, are you fucking serious?
He's doing the duck lips. He's doing Zoolander. He's doing Blue Steel.
All right, that's enough of that, Jackson. I appreciate you two guys, 2 women. Ladies, ironically, 2 women who wants to get the fucking point about Matt Jackson, Annika and Roxy. Appreciate it. What was I going to say? How did I like the match? I'm concerned about Nick. He's got to fucking spend a fucking 10 minutes carrying this bum of a brother. And the bum of a brother is the best person in the match beside himself, because the other fucking 2 are at least 10 years past their prime. What are we even doing? Ironically, match turned out fine. It's fine. Okay. Jeff missed like 3 spots, or was late rather for 3 spots. But it's Jeff. We'll say he's not quite as amped up as it used to be. So he's a little slow getting there. This is fine.
That's why I had to mention the fact he only went to the top rope 3 times. He seems to be lowering that.
I mean, watching. This is what you want to see, though? Like, is this what you want to see from Jeff Hardy? Do you not have any fond fucking memories?
His swanton looked good.
Like, look how close they have to be now for him to not crush somebody with a swanton. He
crushes them when they're right underneath.
He's got.
Remember Zay? Remember that first one he hit on Isaiah Cassidy?
Just right on his stomach. He's got to slowly climb the ropes for a fucking whisper in the wind. Like, this is Jeff Hardy. Yeah, I know. See, just watch it. I'm trying to heal the world. I'm just trying to save Nick. Free Nick Jackson. It was fine. The match was fine. The FTR thing was fine. It's just, as far as the match goes, being here now. I mean, when did the Bucks have the Bucks? When did the Bucks have the tag titles and FTR had all those belts?
That was last summer. But that only lasted 2 weeks.
But we do remember a time when FTR was the hottest motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah.
That was when you should have did it. Okay. Fuck it. We'll do it here now. It's not too late. It's not fucking Pacquiao Mayweather, so I guess I'll take it. As long as FTR goes over, folks. I'm not gonna complain.
I'm gonna be so happy when the Young Bucks beat them. Oh my god, I can't wait. God. Frantic World says I can't wait to see FTR versus Young Bucks. I mean, I think both of their matches, two of the best tag team matches in AEW history. So, in front of 80,000,
still of all the matches FTR have had,
two of them. They had those two matches. Like what FTR matches in AEW outside of the Bullet Club Gold matchup.
Outside the match they had, yes, that was them. That was the.
I said two. Yes. I said two of the best tag team matches of all in AEW history.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, how many matches have to go above it for you to be kicked out of the one of the best category?
Well, let's say the matches that are above those two matches. Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros Steel Cage All Out 2021. Hangman and Kenny versus Young Bucks Revolution 2020. FTR versus Bullet Club Gold 58-minute match on Collision. Go ahead.
You like those fucking tag matches that fucking much?
What?
The fucking Young Bucks
matches.
I
said go ahead. Name the matches.
I don't like them.
Okay, that's okay.
Pick a fucking Moxley. What's the other one? What's the fucking Moxley? Fucking Ishii. Pick one of them. What the fuck? Oh. I am
literally now gonna go back to last year when FTR and Young Bucks versed again in Philly and I'm gonna screen capture your reaction to that matchup after it happened on the show, and I'm gonna play it next week to see if you're keeping the same energy or your energy just changing because you don't like the Young Bucks.
I do like the Young Bucks. That's a wild thing.
You don't like the Young Bucks.
Is Nick Jackson a Young Buck?
You like Nick Jackson. You hate Matt Jackson. So therefore, you don't like the Young Bucks. That's a balance. That's a balance.
I don't hate Matt Jackson. His existence bothers me, but I don't hate him.
You hate him.
If he died tomorrow, I'd be okay with it, but I don't hate him.
Exactly. That's
hatred. A difference.
I've never used the word dying. Like you want someone to die. Like
I don't want them to die. I just would not be bothered. I said I wouldn't be bothered. Like if I was drinking a soda and somebody told me Matt Jackson died, I go, oh, well, sucks for his family, I suppose. And I would continue my fucking soda.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Joking, mostly.
You're not. Frantic World, FTR versus them.
I thought I was being petty. I thought I was being petty about fucking going back, but now I'm going to go back because I was going to go back and do our tally of Collision and Dynamite, which you've named one that was better, and that's the fucking, what do you call that fucking War Games? Blood and Guts.
No, I said two. I actually gave them two. And
you said two, but you just named Blood and Guts.
Last week is the 8th week, and I gave, I think that's the 3rd week. Dynamite was better than Collision. Blood and Guts, and I said the one that had the crazy ending before Forbidden Door with Eddie coming back with Will Ospreay. Yeah, I said that.
So 3 out of 8.
Yeah, Collision's been better 5 out of 8 times. I told you, I'm logical. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna say.
Wait a minute. So why are we arguing about whether or not Collision is better if it's better for fucking most of the time?
Because it's opening weeks. What are we talking about?
This is the motherfucker that you argue with. When fucking in 87 about Michael Jordan being the best motherfucker on the planet. He's going, well, he's only been around for what do you mean? Your eyes tell you what it is.
So after one season, you were like, Michael Jordan's the best player ever.
Well, after one season, I wasn't quite born yet.
After 8 games, basically what you're telling me is after 8 games, you knew Michael Jordan was the greatest player of all time.
I wasn't born yet. But if you were born, if I was
Okay. After 8 games, you knew that LeBron James was going to surpass all the other guys on like the top. You knew that 8 games in.
Yes. Like top 10? Yes. Easy. Don't need to discuss it.
Okay. If you did, I don't have proof of that. I can go back. I can go back to see your reaction to Young Bucks FTR too. I can't go back to 2003 ever, and I don't remember. I don't think we even started talking until Batista got a push in WWE.
This is why these things work. Maybe I won't quit this because I do like having things on record. Go back to when Jamie Hayter came back. You tell me what my thoughts were then.
You were no. See, this is what I can remember when we're actually talking about things. I can actually remember and say you have 100% been behind Jamie Hayter since she came back. That's 100%.
What feels about the Bray Wyatt LA Knight feud? Then I come to you and say, I don't know who the fuck the LA Knight guy is, but he's amazing.
Yes, you did. You did.
You have the same skill I do. Just trust your eyes. You just trust your eyes. You gotta trust yourself. Collision is better. That's it. Just trust yourself. You're not seeing double.
8 games in. 8 games in. He knew LeBron James would be a top 5 NBA greatest player of all time. Jesus Christ. I love how you're nodding when you know that. When you don't even remember how you. Yeah, because they dropped a beat. You got Drew who said this show is incredible.
Just trust your eyes, people.
I'm like, yo, I'm really dumbfounded by that. This dude said 8 games in, he knew. He just knew.
Top 10 player ever.
He's like the eye test. I knew he was gonna be top 10 all time. Jeez.
Come on, don't take that long. Don't take that
Next. Oh my God. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry it takes us so long to get through anything on this show because Jimmy just said stuff that I'm just like, wait, what? No, I know you don't remember that. I know for a fact you're bullshitting me. Anyway, there will be a tournament to set up a 4-way women's title match at AEW All in London. With Tony Storm has already cashed in her rematch clause. We see footage of her losing to Kawashida last week. She's automatically in the 4-way, and then we got Hikaru Shida versus Anna Jay in tonight's main event. 2 weeks in a row, women's main events. Keep talking, y'all. Keep talking. Tony gonna have the main event every week. You also got Saraya versus Sky Blue on Rampage, and then next week on Dynamite is Dr. Britt Baker versus the Bunny, and then we'll have the 4-way at All In. This felt overthought, and the fact that I heard them say the word tournament when it should just be called qualifiers. You're qualifying for a 4-way. I don't know why they always love the word tournament, because this is not a tournament. This is not a tournament.
Sometimes things explain themselves. And if you look at that, my first thought was, we all know who will win these matches. Like, this is the least exciting matchups ever. Why are we even doing this? Well, I know why. We all know why. It's because we need some broads for the next week. So these are the matches. So I don't get yelled at for not having women's matches.
And they also needed to say something on the show to give the women a direction. So at the very least, I will say that at the very least, the only thing this whole thing accomplishes is at least we have a direction and know what's going on in the women's division. Because since Forbidden Door, it's just been they dropped the Outcast storyline. It seems they have just been it's just been random matches just thrown out on Dynamite and stuff like that. So, like, at least this is a direction.
Though I will admit, whatever the fuck Tony Storm's doing now, I'm here for it. I don't know what the fuck that was. Watched on Collision.
Marilyn Monroe. That's what she's trying to be. She's trying to be Marilyn Monroe.
It's perfect.
Marilyn Monroe.
This 80s movie star. Sure. Okay. This is great. I'm here for it. From the 50s.
Yes. From the 50s. From the 50s. I enjoyed the hell out of that, bro. I will say, Collision, the in-ring work, that's the reason why I wasn't too high on it. I didn't think the in-ring work was as high as the last couple of weeks, but the promos between Tony and Christian, they killed it. Christian turning heel. I'm sorry, Christian turning heel on his daughter. I'm gonna go back and watch that like years later.
Did you win this? Go see your mother, which is a wild thing to say. And then he tries to get her kicked out of the building. She's not credentialed.
She's not credentialed. Please remove her from the building.
With the complete straight face. Christian's fucking fantastic. Oh my god. But I will stick by this till the end of time.
He's one of the best characters. Why don't more people think Christian's better than Edge? Come on, it's ridiculous.
People have a fondness for Edge. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why, but it's weird. I will say this, however. I stick by this the new time. The only thing wrong with Collision on a consistent basis. I hate that opening fucking thing they do with these fucking promos. I hate it. I hate it with that passion.
It was cool at the beginning, and now they're just not saying anything.
They're
like
not.
If they said something in like the first couple of weeks, they were saying something, and it was like, oh, that was a nice line. Oh, that's cool. This week, I watched it, and this is the crazy part. Another complaint about SummerSlam is the fucking dead time. I legit was able to watch and retain a lot of Collision because of the dead time on SummerSlam. I watched them both at the same time live, and I was able to watch whole matches in between matches on SummerSlam. That's another nitpick of it.
It does need to be more tightly plugged.
Yes, I understand money and I understand commercials, but come on, there's a balance that we can have here a little bit, you know. But as far as like
making Punk sound scripted should be a fucking crime against humanity.
You literally read my mind. I literally was gonna say that the fact that whole Punk promo and Ricky Starks, who's another great promo, just sounded so written down on paper for them. Like the whole promo sounded written down on paper for them. Like, this is what you're gonna say. You only got 20 seconds. Go.
My name is CM Punk. You're watching Disney. Like, what the fuck are we even doing?
My name is CM Punk, and you're watching the Disney Channel. Imagine him doing like this. Dun, 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 dun.
Fucking ill.
Next up, we get one of my favorite segments of the whole entire night, Jimmy. MJF and Adam Cole. They are once again bonding. This time, MJF, he wants to go to a strip club and see some women, but instead, Adam Cole takes him to a trampoline park. He's jumping up and down. MJF not too pleased to be here. Adam Cole tells him all the stuff that the trampoline park has, like video games, a ball pit, and dodgeball. MJF perks at that and likes the idea of dodgeball. So then we move to another portion of the trampoline park where MJF is just pinging little kids with the dodgeball. When I tell you, Jimmy, I hysterically was fucking laughing. I was like, this was so great. This was so over the top, so ridiculous. It was hilarious. MJF insulting the kids as he throws the ball at them. I slept with your mom. Boom! You're adopted. Boom! I'm your new dad. Boom! Cole comes up to say MJF can't do this, but a young girl comes up to them and tells them they must be nerds for being adults at a trampoline park. Cole has to hold MJF back, but and he says, little girl, he was like, we're just having fun. Go back to your family. And the little girl flips him off. So Cole tells MJF to go ahead, and he throws the ball at the little girl to end the segment. I just love these two. I just love MJF might be like, he reminds me of like all the over the top characters from like all those TV shows. I don't know if you've like seen like Arrested Development, the brother that's a magician, that's MJF. That like Cole is Jason Bateman and the crazy brother is MJF. Like, it's really like, it's very much they balance each other in these segments. I absolutely loved it. What did you think?
This is probably my favorite one. I really enjoyed this one. Their skits that they do. This was great. Beating up kids, I'm always a fan. So more of that, please.
More kids getting insulted. Fuck them kids. Absolutely. We got a couple of comments here. We got Negro Buck who says you were adopted. We got Steven who says trampoline segment funny. We also got Louis who says a GOAT level Dynamite segment. Oh my god, like just laughter throughout the entire house over here. I banged your mom.
That was wild.
Bad news, kid. I'm your dad. Just like, it's the way he was saying it's his delivery. Like we said it, I think we had this conversation a couple weeks ago. It's his delivery of the lines when he's throwing the ball. Like, it was so on the money. He reminded me of like Ben Stiller's character from Dodgeball.
Wow. That's a throwback. I like it.
We got strike.
This was fun.
So good.
Wasn't even the best segment of the night.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even the best. Not from even these guys was it the best segment of the night. We got MJF said, "I'm your father," and I was laughing. We got Steven who says one of the kids funny roll or eyes rolling and tongue hanging out. Yes, that kid was awesome. I was like, yo, the fact that kid did that. If he wasn't asked to do that, he just decided to do that. Kid's gonna go places. Kid's gonna go places. We got Big Man Dog saying Cole had such a deranged face when he talked to the girl.
Like he was trying not to turn into the old Adam Cole.
He was like, you're trying to force the old Adam Cole. Annika saying MJF bringing Cole to the dark side is my favorite part of these segments. Yes, every time that Cole shows that he's not completely a reformed babyface now, it's great. It's great. It's great every single time.
It's great.
And Frantic World says that was a Happy Gilmore moment. That's a good shout as well. That's a good comparison. Yes. Yeah. And we got Big Man Dog says MJF is the type of guy to earnestly try to win against kids. Yes. As soon as he said dodgeball, I was like, he's gonna throw dodgeball at kids. He's gonna play dodgeball with kids. We get a recap of the Blackpool Combat Club being all violent recently with the Anything Goes matchup from last week, as well as the insane parking lot brawl from Rampage against Best Friends. Then we hear from the Blackpool Combat Club that is happy to have hurt the Best Friends and Pac. Claudio says he warned Pac and he told him, and now he's on the shelf and he takes personal responsibility for that. He says now that the Best Friends are out of the way, now they move on to the Lucha Bros and they promise to maim them tonight. What did you think about this promo here? Made me feel that the fact that we got promos from both teams, I was like, is this the main event? Because I thought at the beginning of the show they announced that the women's title match was the main event, but when we got two promos for them, I was like, this feels like the main event now.
I figured it's Moxley, it's got to be the main event, but it wasn't. Am I glad it wasn't? Why is Claudio speaking? Even if I said he wasn't bad here, which I'm not entirely sure would be true, John Moxley's right there. It's a 2-minute promo. This is kind of what he does. This is weird. I get it. He's the always champion. Take the belt off him. The only reason you haven't talked is he's the champion. Enough. Moxley talks. When's Dragon coming back?
They said 3 months. I think the last time that Tony Khan was asked about it, he said 3 months or so. Basically, the end of the year or beginning of next year.
Jesus. Fucking crime.
Unfortunate, but that's what happens when you get a broken arm.
Jesus. Oh, well.
Yeah. Happens.
So if you guys to christening new best in the world till he comes back and you all decide it's Dragon again, fucking obviously.
Hey, it's Will Ospreay now. Ospreay got it. Ospreay took it back. Took it back to court.
Another one to the list, absolutely.
And no, Ospreay been on that list for a while now. FTW.
Yeah, not at one. There's only one. There's only been one for the last 15 years. Pay attention.
There's been 3 guys I've seen.
Oh,
4
my
guys.
God.
4 guys.
Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley. Right.
No, that is a bad comparison.
He won MVP.
No. Sorry that not everybody can tell who's the MVP after 8 games, sir.
You can't tell who's better between Michael Jordan and any motherfucker after 8 games. Something wrong with you, not me. Something wrong with y'all.
FTW rules, FTW Championship matchup. Jack Perry defending against Rob Van Dam. Absolutely adore Jack Perry coming out in Jerry Lynn style gear. As soon as I saw the yellow, I was like, he's wearing Jerry Lynn's tights. That's great. This is FTW rules, so falls count anywhere. Perry jumps RVD right from the start, but he gets rolled up for a 2. And then RVD was just like, I'm going to rewind the clock back for a good 2 minutes. After that, I'm going to be moving slow, but I can rewind the clock back for 2 minutes. He was like, I'm going to hit the sliding drop kick with the chair. I'm going to hit Rolling Thunder. I'm going to bring out a table and some more chairs. We get a table at ringside where RVD throws Jungle Boy, Joey's Jack Perry off the top rope, and he flip dives into the table at ringside. We get a chair thrown at Jack Perry, but he ducks and it nails the referee with the chair sitting perfectly on the top rope. I thought that was a great spot there. RVD is in control. He goes to the top rope, hits the 5-star frog splash, but we have no referee until Aubrey Edwards, the only referee who seems to come out when we need a referee in the ring after a referee bump. She heads down to the ring, counts the 1, the 2, but Jack Perry is able to kick out as RVD argues with Aubrey Edwards about the count. Jack Perry low blows him, throws him into a chair in the corner, and rolls him up handful of tights to get the win. 9 minutes, 22 seconds. Very cheap lane finish to this matchup. But overall, I thought this was way more entertaining than I thought it would be. So, thumbs up for me. What did you think?
We're hearing a lot about expectations today, apparently.
Yeah.
SummerSlam was high expectations, didn't deliver, so we're all disappointed. We all apparently have very low expectations of the Hardy Boys and RVD. So when they deliver something semi-decent, we're ready to throw a fucking parade. Fair enough. I kind of felt the same way, except with way more concern about RVD because he's mentioned CTE. He says he's already been diagnosed with CTE, which is a wild thing to say, especially if true. And here he is wrestling. Yeah. I am a fan of letting grown men and women, obviously, or their non-binary counterparts, do whatever the fuck they want to do. However,
look at you growing. Look at you showing some growth. Non-binary.
Yeah, I'm up with the lingo.
Very nice.
I'm
Very
hip.
Nice. I'm proud of you. I'm sorry. Proud of you.
However, yeah. That aside, this was good. I enjoyed this. He's not RVD of old, but he's still better than most, we'll say.
Does anybody else find it weird that RVD's back is arched when he's standing up straight? Am I the only one that noticed that? That when he's standing up straight, his back is arched. So he's not really bloated. We said last week that he's bloated. No, it's that I think his back is really fucked up. Because I noticed that, and I was watching with one of my friends, and it was like, yo, you're right. He's like standing up straight, and his back is still like dented in. And I was like, yeah,
he's always been...
it's not his bloated. It's literally like his chest and his upper stomach is out because he's arched.
It's been like that for a while. I don't know if this is a condition or it happens when you wrestle and do martial arts and all that shit. Because I remember him being like, not to this extreme it is now, but it's been like that for a while.
Yeah, I was just confirmed. I was concerned. I don't think that's normal.
No. I mean, to be fair, he's got CTE and back issues is the least of his concerns. I wouldn't worry about CTE though. What's the worst that can happen if Russell has CTE? He's not going to kill anybody or himself or his kids. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
You done? Okay, just making sure.
I
know you had a point to make there.
Yeah, I forget.
Why do we always have to go through this? Why?
I'm just asking a question.
Just asking why we have to always go through this. Okay.
We care so much about Rush's wife and the labor she went through. We don't care about this motherfucker whose brain is slowly melting in the side of his skull. That's weird. It's almost as if it's about the fucking money. It's about the fucking. It's weird. I don't know. This thing's weird.
It's weird. It's about the money. It's like this guy doesn't care about anybody.
Right. It's weird. I just thought he was the greatest dude ever. Turns out he's a suit, like they all are. Who would have thunk
it? I know one person who would have thunk it. I would have thought one person would have thunk it without even thinking. Anyway, next up, We get Lucha Bros promising revenge on the Blackpool Combat Club promo with Alex Abrahantes and both brothers. Nothing much to write home about with this one. Any comments?
Nope.
Pretty.
Babyface Abrahantes is fucking egregious, isn't that? This is weird. Ugh, you're just a guy talking. Please stop talking.
They're asking me where's the disclaimer. I mean,
for what?
I mean,
which
part? I don't think he. Yeah,
Tony Khan
you
being
tell
a
me.
Suited up scumbag, or Chris Benoit murdering people because his brain is fucking melted. You tell me which was the egregious part. Are they both not true?
He doubled down. You're right, Chase.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
What about that Kansas City Chiefs player that shot himself and his wife?
On your side. I was actually on your side. I wasn't going to give you a disclaimer, and then you just kept going. I
love that.
What's going on today?
These people, not me.
You're so upset today. What is up?
I care about life. I care about human life. That's all I care about. You guys don't give a fuck. Just entertain me. Do your flips.
We're the problem. You hear that, guys? We're the problem. Jimmy's
Absolutely.
not the problem. We're the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe this guy should sit the fuck down somewhere. And you all are like, your brain doesn't work anymore? Great. Flip. More flips, I say. Okay.
More flippity-doo, flippity-day.
Oh, wait.
Next we get...
Steve Forbes going to be twerking at one moment, and Van Dam's going to lose his fucking mind. And we're going to be like, what the fuck happened? His brain doesn't work anymore. What do you mean what the fuck happened? Sorry.
No, he used to be able to stand up straight. It's just it seems even more indented than it has before. I've seen him like stand up straight. I've seen his back, and I've seen him stand up straight with the back arch. But it was just very much noticeable this time. We also got Drew here who says, "Are we getting an RVD is all elite graphic?" I don't know. I feel like he might be able to be another well utilized legend. I don't think we are, unfortunately, or fortunately. I don't know how you.
Very fortunate. Yes.
We already got Jeff Hardy.
Absolutely. At least his brain works when it's not impaired.
Jesus. We got one Mike Nation. He says, "This is the second time I stood there thinking someone was going to come in to save Jack Perry." I did too. When the referee went down, I was like, okay, so he's gonna have some muscle or a heater come out for him. Maybe Wardlow put two guys that didn't work out on their push. Put them together. Frantic World says this match was really good. IFVD hasn't missed a step in the ring.
What?
I didn't. I didn't mention. What? Go ahead.
But did I read that tweet right? Hasn't lost a step since when? Since we last saw him, I suppose. Maybe that's accurate. But since he was good, no, he's lost quite a few steps.
Yeah,
the fuck are you on about? He's getting older. It happens to all of us.
It's called age. We got Trey who says RVD broke Jack Perry's back with that spinning lay drop. No, he broke his face, because if you notice, his face went into the guardrail and then he fell off. That shit, I was like, yo, that was probably the best one he's done since ECW.
That was fucking great.
That was great. And Jungle Boy showed the shit out of that too. It was great. Roxy saying, man, I didn't know a 52-year-old man can still do those moves.
He's great for 52. He looks fantastic.
Yeah. For 52, 100%. It was like, sheesh. We got Steven who says RVD looked great. Maybe WWE will get a hint of that, and he'll get a nice new Legends contract. Why not?
Do you have to wrestle in Legends contract?
No. Legends contract, they just use you for the bigger conventions, and we got an appearance. Oh, we need you. Like they just used him as a legend for WWE draft when he came out and announced the draft picks. So I don't know if he's not under a Legends contract because they wouldn't be here.
When was that?
What?
The draft?
He announced one of the picks for the WWE.
When was that?
Oh, that was the beginning of May.
LA Knight showed up yesterday. They really don't give a fuck. I'm here for it.
Yo, dude, I just realized what you said because I think it was someone trying to get Rick when I was doing Believe. He tried to get on me because I mentioned that. I was like, why the fuck do they keep doing this? Like, they don't give a fuck. Why did Triple H come out and say, I'm gonna change the game, the WWE draft, and nothing's changed? Nothing
at all.
Nothing.
It's like,
I will say though, we're gonna really find out about Triple H as a booker because he's experienced what Vince did in 2016 right now. Did you see their injury list?
Oh, it's egregious.
It's
shocking.
It's like WrestleMania 32 season all over again.
We're gonna see. We're gonna fucking see what you're made of, sir. I feel like you got on the right track with Raw this week. Vince looking over your shoulder. We'll see.
That did feel like a Triple H show. It definitely.
Yeah, do what the fuck I want. You better get out of your system because he will be back. I haven't read any reports, but he will be back. I don't care what anybody says.
We got Annika who says, "You the one saying Danielson is the best while he's still wrestling with multiple concussions. Get him, Annika. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Annika. Show that fury. Show that spiciness towards this motherfucker. What you got to say?"
I hate to educate these little nigglets, but listen up. I want to be I want to be nice. A concussion and CTE are not equivalent. It's number one. I already said, if you remember in the beginning, I already said I don't mind grown, we'll call them people. Sometimes use all the pejoratives. Grown people doing what they want with their body. The issue with CTE is it could affect people outside of your fucking body. See Chris Benoit. See Kansas City player. That is my issue. If it just meant his brain might explode in the ring one day, and that could be the end of it, everything can do what the fuck he wants. I don't care. It's his brain. It's his life. That's my only issue. Like Dragon. One day he might just, and the lights go out. That's his choice. He's a fucking grown man.
Could we not do that? Could we not do that? Could we not even talk about that, please?
Not gonna work, or whatever the phrasing goes.
Jesus.
I want Dragon to be around forever.
Frantic World says, I watched Marty Jannetty Dark Side of the Ring episode. Wow, he was a wild man. We'll talk about that on Friday for sure. Were you able to see that, Jimmy?
I heard some clips. First of all, wow. I've heard some statements about what Jannetty and Michaels used to do. Oi. Yeah, I am.
I had never heard the story about him beating up Shawn in a hotel, and that's the reason why they broke up the Rockers.
Shawn Michaels is definitely highly punchable. And
Shawn Michaels, we have never heard Shawn Michaels win in a backstage fight. We've never heard that. Every backstage fight we hear about from Shawn Michaels, he's getting his ass kicked.
We heard about the Marines that fucked him up, Marty Jannetty, Bret Hart. It's just, sir, stop being an ass. You can't win these fights.
You should not write checks. Your ass can't cash. Like, what are you doing? We got Chilling with Chase, who says SP3 loves destroying the draft. One of my favorite rants he does. People will defend the draft too. And that's why I will still be doing these rants, because people still try to tell me, oh no, it had to be done. It had to happen. I wanted it to happen. I'm like, what?
That's not a good excuse.
That's not
how
a
that
good
works.
excuse. That's not. What are we doing here?
You should have said, what should you have said? You should have said LA Knight didn't wrestle, therefore the draft wasn't broken. Something to the like. But then didn't Roman wrestle on Raw the night after? All right. Never mind.
We got Drew who says Triple H is a liar, telling everyone in that press conference Vince ain't in creative. Yeah, right, Big Nose. His nose was growing. Don't call him Big Nose. He's Pinocchio.
What is he supposed to say? This old motherfucker won't leave me alone. What's he supposed to say?
Every time I try to kick him out, he winds up behind me like Mo. Like Mo and Barney. It's like Mo and Barney.
Vince is the boss.
Out, he's back in.
Yeah, it is what it is. Vince is the boss. That's how that works. And you do what he says to do. Like when Vince came back and Triple H all of a sudden was on Raw and SmackDown that week, told everybody to relax. Like, what do you want?
It's going to be great. And then that's what he did the whole promo about the WWE draft. It's going to be a game changer. Game changer.
He got a pistol in the back of his head.
He's like a Tony Khan promo now. Triple H said the WWE draft will be a game changer, and it's just like Call of Duty. Sheesh. We got Will Chisholm saying it's sad that we opened the feds can catch Vince. Oh shit.
Vince is uncatchable. I don't know how he does this.
Oh yes. That I'm sorry, I had that shit stuck in my head because you know how they show the guys that they're interviewing, and you know he's the subject of the whole episode, Marty Jannetty. So they're showing him, you know, around the house. He's got like the bad ankle, and he's being drugged around. So every time he comes into a different room, he says, "MJ's in the house." What the fuck? I literally afterwards was saying that. I had my wife crying. I had my woman crying when I was like, MJ's in the hole.
That is sad. Well, he's enjoyed his life, though. I tell you what, he squeezed the most out of it he possibly fucking could.
Yeah. I will say the Dark Side of the Ring this season has been not as good as the last couple of seasons. And me and you can check out our Bash at the Beach review where we talked about that, me and Chrissy, where we said that it's just not up to par on the last two seasons. Last two seasons had banger after banger and book ended with bangers. Like season 2 starts off with Chris Benoit 2-parter and ends with Owen Hart. Like, dude, season 3 starts off with Brian Pillman 2-parter. And then it ended with the steroids child. And then this season starts off with Skip and Sonny. Like, yeah, it's a crazy story, but is it as wild and infamous as the stuff I just named? No.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's only so much shit you can cover. And they've clearly used the first 2 seasons to cover this interesting shit. That's how it works.
But they still got that's another conversation we had on the episode, the review last week. We came up with like a whole season's worth of stuff. Saudi Arabia in 2019. There's enough people. You could get FTR. You could get a few.
And they don't want that smoke. Absolutely not. What?
I don't want that smoke.
So, the same shit on Twitter is one thing. Fucking putting a hit on my own life. No, I'm gonna pass on that.
He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Good. Peace, y'all. Later, guys. See you. We got Trey Jones who says, I'll save my comments on Jannetty for the review. Yes, join us back, brother. Join us back here. We also got season 2 was the New Jack one. That was episode 2 though. But that's 2 back-to-back bangers. They started off with a 2-part of Benoit, and then the second episode was New Jack. Season 2 is still the best season.
Terry?
Huh?
How did he get Terry?
New Jack, man. He's an OG, original gangster.
Let's get. It is what it is.
Let's get back to the show and talk about my favorite segment of the night, Jimmy, as MJF and Adam Cole come out to talk about the main event in AEW, all in with one another. We get their entrance where MJF is just going full-on babyface, high-fiving people in the front row. He's hugging kids. He's going crazy. So MJF says that he's seen some footage of him saying, he says that he's very happy to be in the Midwest, and he says that he's seen some footage of him saying that everyone in the Midwest is mid, but that footage is heavily doctored. So may God strike him down dead if what he is saying isn't true, but his favorite place in this country is the Midwest. As he and Adam Cole flinch and cringe at being struck down by God, but MJF survives. He's very happy. He says, yes, I was telling the truth. Leaving Cole, he says, he gives the mic to Cole, and Cole says that they're gonna be in the main event of the biggest show in AEW history, AEW All in London at Wembley Stadium, and he says that he's gonna take the AEW World Championship from MJF. MJF says, so you want a little promo battle, eh? Okay. MJF says that, Cole, you're so skinny and white that if you had been around in the 80s, Hogan would have snort you. Oh yeah. He was like, Adam Cole, you're so generic. And Cole stops him. He says that's not what he wanted. He says that he thinks that He says that even though they're in the main event at AEW All In, he says that he still thinks that that Better Than You Baby deserves some tag team championship gold. And even though they came up short against the AEW World Tag Team Champions, there is another set of tag team titles that Cole wants to go after, and he says that they are the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. Cole talks about how much he's done in Ring of Honor, being the first and only 3-time Ring of Honor World Champion, being a former Ring of Honor World Television Champion, former Survival of the Fittest, but he has never won the World Tag Team titles. They already have the world title match at All In the main event, but he suggests that what if they go after the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles, the same titles that have been held by some of the great tag teams of the past, like the Red Dragon, like Jay and Mark Briscoe, and they go to the All In 0 Hour pre-show and they win the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. MJF responds and says, well, wait, what? You want me to wrestle twice in one night? What are you, sick and perverted? Normally, when someone wants to make me wrestle more than once a year, I want to stab them in the face with a soldering iron. But he says, Daddy is a sucker for a cheap prop, though, so he's in. And he makes the official challenge saying that Better Than You, Baby, Adam Cole, and MJF want a challenge for the AEW Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. So Aussie Open, All In, London, 0 Hour pre-show, we're coming for you. This brings out a loud voice saying, Adam! Adam! He said, how could you? How could you? You want to go after the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles with MJF and not a Ring of Honor legend and your best friend, Roderick Strong? But MJF responds and he goes off on Roderick Strong. He says, Roger Strong, he said, I'm sick and tired of hearing you listen to you bitch and moan and complain. So how about you do this? You do what every generic white guy does. You go into your car and you go, you go home and you go run your stairs, you go slam your door, you go put on your headphones and you listen to some Taylor Swift. And I want you to turn it up real loud. And I want you to listen to that and shake it off, you little bland bitch. Roderick Strong responds and says, Adam, are you going to let him talk to me like that? He says the Kingdom was right. Like they were right about you. Kingdom comes out and hugs. It looks like a child. Wild. They hug Roderick Strong as MJF is laughing and saying, look at that guy. What is up with that guy? Cole gets mad. He snaps. He turns around and he pushes MJF, telling him that you can't do that, that's my friend. You can't talk to him like that. MJF, you can tell, is getting very angry, very upset. Adam Cole notices that and then tells him, sorry, I overreacted, Max. I apologize. I'm sorry for that. And MJF says, all right, go check on your friend. Man, they do it to me every week, Jimmy. Every week, I think the turn is going to happen right there. Yo, did they not have you on the edge of your seat when he pushed them? I was like, wait, whoa, okay, all right. But I enjoyed this segment so much. I thought MJF absolutely hit this out of the park as far as being the comedy jock babyface, the Rock type babyface. Like I said, this was a Rock-esque promo on Roderick Strong. Adam Cole was great as kind of like the straight man and the more serious of the two and more concerned about Roderick Strong. And then Roderick Strong, he might be the MVP of this segment. I'm sorry. His delivery of everything he said was just pinpoint ex-girlfriend vibes. Like, it was just so on the nose how he hit that. And this might have been my favorite in-ring segment with these two so far.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let me start with what actually happened. MJF is really good. Before on Monday Night Raw, they had LA Knight and The Miz. And I thought that was great. I thought it was brilliant. And I was like,
LA Knight flumbled a little bit, unfortunately.
And then what happened?
He picked it up. Miz killed it, though. I think Miz killed it. I thought Miz was better. I thought Miz was better than him.
I didn't go that far. I thought Miz was great. But after they were done talking, I was like, I'll still take Miz and LA Knight over this one. And then Roderick Strong came out. And I was like, that might be one of my favorite in-ring segments ever. Like, I just, everything about it was so old. I love how MJF is such a scumbag that you getting him angry is the equivalent to like touching Austin. It just felt like, oh, you done fucked up.
You done fucked up now. Like, that's why it had me on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
This was great. This to me felt like a change of direction. A needed change of direction. Because while you could say I was just playing all along, it was not. Because Shivani changed his tone. He was like, oh, Roger Strong, a wet blanket on this great MJ. Like, what? Where the fuck did that come from? All right, well, fuck it.
You're never positive about MJF. You're never siding with MJF in a situation.
This was so good. I'll say for all of it. This was fucking brilliant. Why it's on the pre-show, I don't know. But whatever.
Because they're wrestling in the main event. I think that's why.
Yeah, but why? Like, why is it on
put
the
them on
pre-show?
Early and they have enough time to get ready for the main event?
You could put him on at the opening of the show. You could put it on the main event.
I agree, but wouldn't that make some people want to watch? I know some people that weren't watching Dynamite and only watch Collision because of MJF and Adam Cole being on there. But MJF and Adam Cole will probably get people to watch the 0 hour pre-show.
Yeah, but like, that's my point. What does that accomplish? I'm taking off my fan hat, my artist hat, and I'm putting on my fucking Booker hat, which Tony has sweat in and probably came in, and I've got a fucking wipe off my forehead. What does that accomplish? Like, are there any like
more eyes on the 0 hour pre-show is more potential eyes to convince to buy the pay-per-view?
That is an insane theory. I'm thoroughly curious to hear how that's ever worked out ever.
That's how most people use their pre-show. Except for WWE, they just talk for 2 hours.
And the booking AEW puts on fucking matches that couldn't fit on the card. Why would they even want to buy the card? No pre-show. Because
it's free. It's a free pre-show.
Right. So now I'm going to pay to see the thing. Well, it makes no sense. Here's my question. Here's a statement. If you haven't made up your mind to buy the pay-per-view before the pre-show, you're not going to. You're not going to. If you haven't decided I'm buying this before,
we would have to find like stats on that. As far
as
you
don't use your fucking common sense. Motherfuckers watching the pre-show.
It's not common sense. You need information. It was announced later in the show that MJF and Adam Cole will talk about the main event of All In next week. Even though I'm pretty sure that's what they were supposed to talk about here, but they didn't. They talked about the ROH tag team titles. So, we do got a couple of comments to feature here. We got Steven Chambers who says, wonder if they do the heel turn at the 0 hour pre-show. That would be dumb as fuck.
So they might do it.
Yeah. I said Jimmy turning on Jay would be dumb as fuck, and they did it. So I don't every time I say something dumb as fuck, it's like, yeah, that means it's probably gonna happen. We got here also Trey Jones who says MJF was on fire tonight. 100% agree. Drew saying that Hogan line might be the promo line of the year. Oh my God. When he said you're so skinny and white, Hogan would have snorted you in the 80s. Jesus. I was like, he took that from 0 to 100 real quick. We got Dan who says great stream MJF looking a little out of sync. Yes, had to. We also got here Big Man Dogs who says MJF is the friend who starts saying genuinely hurtful shit when you are bantering.
That's why your wife loves you. What?
Oh, we know joke right there? Oh, my bad. I thought we would joke about that. Roxy saying for a second there, I thought he was going to say the trios title and bring out Roddy. Imagine. Let's go for the trio.
What?
We got Rickety who says Roddy will save Adam. We got Negro Buck who says MJF bodied Roddy with a single line.
He did.
We got Drew who says this was a GOAT segment. So good. It was so good. Yeah, we got Negro Buck saying what Roddy said. I'm not a bland bitch.
This was so
bland bitch. We got Big Man Dogs who says this is the most over Roderick has been in his whole career.
Definitely the most entertaining, man.
Look at Louis, one of the man of the people. Collision has never reached these heights. Absolutely agree. We got
ignorance is this. What kind of ignorant horseshit? Did I just watch Christian Chicken's dog? Look, you niggas, this is what I'm saying.
One Mike Nation saying, Adam, you're gonna let him talk to me like that is when I lost it.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Oh, we got Trey Jones who says Roddy got ethered. He definitely did. We got Big Man Dogs who says I think it's supposed to bring attention to the pre-show to get late buys.
That is the point. It's a dumb point.
Thanks for that
I'm
comment.
with you. Absolutely. I hear your theory. I hear Big Man Thumb's theory. I think that is the right theory. It's just wrong.
Then why you couldn't tell me that? Why I had to just be? You just trying to play me like I was wrong. Trying to make me believe. Would have looked at my wife like, was I really wrong? Like, trying to put me in my place. All right. We got. Oh yes. Annika said. I personally I'm Adam Cole and my brain don't work right.
That's a wild thing to say to somebody. Yo, what? Shouldn't joke like that, sir. What the fuck?
I was like, yo, he does not know how to friendly banter. No, he does not. He really comes off like a guy that never had a friend. Like this is his first time having friends. Like he comes off like a 100%. Next, we had the aforementioned tag team matchup. Lucha Bros going up against the Blackpool Combat Club. I thought this matchup was really hard hitting, and I thought it was actually a little bit more concise than the matchup last week, the Anything Goes matchup, which just felt like violence for the sake of violence. This felt like a tag team match that got physical as it got more physical as it went on, and especially the exchange of chops between Phoenix and Claudio. Phoenix and Claudio, man, they just have unbelievable chemistry together, where anything they do, we saw it in their singles match, we saw it in this tag team matchup. They were kind of the highlight whenever they were going at it. But I like the two mixture of the tag teams here. This one goes 13 minutes and 2 seconds. The finish comes when Rey Fenix does a big moonsault onto Wheeler Yuta after he grabs Alex Abrahantes. He looks to almost like buckle, his knee buckles underneath him while the referee is focused on all of that on the outside. Moxley uses that distraction to unmask Penta and roll him up, passing the mask over to Wheeler Yuta, rolling him up for the 1-2-3. After the matchup, the Blackpool Combat Club 3-on-2 assault on the Lucha Bros, laying them out. You got Claudio putting on Penta's mask and doing the zero middle as they lay them out. You have Moxley choking out Penta while Wheeler Yuta and Claudio beat down on Phoenix. And once again, the BCC stands tall on the best friends and Lucha Bros here. What did you think about this matchup here, which I thought was very, very good?
Sure. That's it. Just so what? Why? Why are we having this match? I don't care about any of this. Without Dragon, the BCC is fucking rudderless, and it makes me sick to my stomach. Best friends, fucking the Lucha Brothers, like, you have nothing interesting for them at all. At all?
It's not interesting?
Fucks no. By the way, does anybody lose their mask more than Penta?
This is my slot. They do that spot a lot on the Lucha Bros in general.
Yeah. Anyway, this is fine. This is fine for what it is. Moxie's. I'm not gonna say anything because we're being positive today. This was good.
You are
Being positive, yes. Positivity.
This is you being positive.
Yes. Just because I have negative things to say about Matt Jackson or about SummerSlam or about Tony Khan or about whoever doesn't mean I'm not positive. Positivity. Thank you, Big Dogs. I got an excuse to say it. Moxley feels like he's falling off. Absolutely he does. Against the way he was against CM Punk to now, doesn't feel like the same guy. He was the biggest star in the company then. I mean, besides Punk, obviously. And then he's just a guy now.
We got Louis. He says Cole needs an MJF pause button. Rickety says MJF reminds me of Cartman. Oh, that's actually really
that's
good.
A good reference.
That's a good reference. That's a really good reference, Rickety. That would be his character. He would be Cartman, and freaking Cole would be Stan. We got and Roddy would be Butters. We got Big Man Dogs. He says can't believe they did this match 1 week after the hardcore stuff. Was a good match though.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Weird placement of the matches, yeah. Annika says, God help Moxley was not interested in the Lucha Bros until BCC wanted a fight. Yeah, pretty much. They wanted a new fight. They found it with the Lucha Bros and the Best Friends.
It's roster
basically
shit.
how this whole feud started.
It's roster shit. I've decided. I told you it's the same issue I had with WWE. Is that their roster is too big and too good for one show, but it's not good enough for two shows. It just isn't. Sorry. It just isn't.
Big man Dog saying Claudio doing some cultural appropriation. We got Chasey says Dragon confirmed in an SI article he loves BCC and they're all friends. Yeah, he said he never wants them to break up. Never wants them to break up.
I'm sorry. Don't ever listen to Dragon. He's fucking always working somebody. Like, enough.
We got Trey Jones that says we need more positive Jimmy, and we also got Big Man Dogs who has your back, who says double negative equals positive. That's
Absolutely.
Jimmy. That's Jimmy in a nutshell, y'all. A says BCC are menaces. Yeah, they were in the Elite feud, but they haven't been since Blood and Guts.
What, did Dragon take all the screwdrivers with him?
Pretty much.
No weapons for anybody.
Even though the parking lot fight, that was BCC. That was the BCC that I enjoyed. That was great. That was a great match. Oh my God, we definitely need a special positive episode of Ramble, though I'm sure Jimmy would fail in 5 minutes.
No, just put me on Collision. I got an hour worth of me. 2 hours.
Come on, Collision. The invite is there, sir. The invite's in the mail.
Talk to other people.
I don't know why you don't check your mail, huh? Backstage.
I talk to you. Got to talk to two people. Jesus.
No, I'll tell him to take the week off. He'll like it. He's missed a quarter of the episodes already. He only had 8.
Jesus.
He's missed 2. We see Kenny Omega walking backstage. He Alex Marvez, too many Alexes, asks him what is going to be doing at AEW All In now that the Young Bucks will be busy with FTR for the tag team titles. He says that he has a lot on his plate, whether it's Don Callis, Konosuke Takeshita, but he's going to talk about all of that with Jim Ross next week when they sit down, and he'll let everybody know what he's doing at All In. Any comments on this?
It is weird. That felt weird, right? It was weird placement.
It felt like that this was a last minute thing to put on the card.
Yes,
like I would have wished since Blood and Guts, we should have gotten a Don Callis promo directed at Kenny Omega instead of him just being focused and directly centered on Chris Jericho. He should have had a promo after Blood and Guts to explain that the war is not over between the Don Callis family and the Elite. We just decided that we were going to do our battle another day, that it was the BCC's battle. We're going to take our battle on our own. That's all I needed. Look, literally, that took me 20 seconds to say. 20 seconds of your show, you can't get me down. Or when he's doing all this Chris Jericho stuff, he could just mention that. That could be a side note that I can mention on here. Nothing.
Positivity. The booking is interesting. Definitely non-linear way to go about it.
Non-linear way to go about it. We got Annika that says, I hope this is leading towards Moxley versus OC for the title at Wembley, though. I think we get that matchup at All Out. I think it's leading to a multi-man matchup right now. Whether it's a three-way trios matchup or they three-way trios matchup. That's what it looks like we're leaning towards. Or I would do BCC versus Lucha Bros and Eddie Kingston.
I'm not mad at that. Takes me back to my favorite Eddie time period.
Exactly. He can say my best friend. My best friend.
Needs me. He's hugging him and he looks at the camera. God damn. That was great.
Best friend.
I wouldn't mind seeing Moxley and OC, but I don't know what to do with this OC title reign. It feels like they didn't really have a plan, or they changed it the last minute because he was getting more and more exhausted, and then we're
kind of getting away from that story now. Yeah.
Fuck.
We got Roxy who says, who you guys think Kenny will go against at All In? I think we're getting Kenny and Takeshita now at All In based on this little segment here.
I like Takeshita. That doesn't feel Wembley worthy. Whatever. Fuck it. I'm down.
It's going to be a great match.
A good match. Yeah, good match.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think that also means we're getting Jericho and Ospreay. I think when after Jericho turns on Callis next week, that's what that leads to.
What a downer that is. That's a shame. Did Ospreay win that tournament? I know he was in the finals.
He made it to the final four. He's versus Tetsuya Naito on Saturday in the semifinals. Winner faces Okada versus Evil in the final.
Thank you, Connie.
You're welcome. And that was a spoiler alert for anyone who didn't want to know that. We got Steven Chambers who says, please, Omega versus Ospreay All In. I think we were both kind of in agreement that it's too soon after the second match, that you need space. The reason why the second match stands out as much and people are able to kind of put it on the par with Wrestle Kingdom is because you had 6 months. You had 6 months in between. If you have 2 months in between, you're kind of either going to negate this one or the last one.
I wonder if we'd be getting different matches if we didn't already have the 75,000 sold. It's like, we got your money already, so don't really have to sell you on this. Here you go. Take what you get, motherfucker. That's what you get, England. Adults.
I think they're happy with FTR and Young Bucks and with Cole and MJF.
For All In? That tells you to make your All In card. See, that was the difference. That's the difference. Because the conversation used to be, how the fuck do we get 90,000 people in this building? And then the shit you guys threw out was wild. Omega Ospreay 3 and fucking Dragon and fucking blah, 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 blah. Now it's like, well, they're already here, so MJF and Adam Cole in a light sparring session. FTR and the Young Bucks in a trilogy. Like, really. It'd be good. I mean, the pay-per-views are almost always good. But,
I love your apprehension on everything. We got Big Man Dog says, imagine if they have babyface Jericho and Kenny fight the Don Callis family together. That's some Jericho ass book. Yes. Give me Takeshita and Callis recruits 2 more against Jericho, Kenny, and Ibushi. Give me Golden Lovers and Jericho. God. The Jericho Lovers. Go. The Jericho Lovers.
God. Chris Jericho always wants to hang out. Jesus, go away.
The Jericho Lovers. We got Big Man Dog says, I hope Evil wins the workhorse of New Japan. Don't you wish that Evil on us? Don't you wish that?
Hilarious.
Don't you wish that? We get next Swerve Strickland and the Mogul Embassy coming out to the ring for a chat. Swerve gets on the mic and he says,
wait, Toto, what are you doing, sir? Look at Nana. How dare you skip Nana's dance he did? the entire
Oh,
time.
the dance was great. The dance was great. Oh my god. I just love the way he dances to Swerve's theme. Like, I've never seen someone who just bops the way he does. That's the homie Prince Nana. He talks about Swerve talking about going to Seattle to prove a point last week because they are above the law. He says that now everybody knows that it's Swerve's, it's whose house, and the whole crowd says Swerve's house, even though he's a dastardly heel that beat up on a teenager last week. AR Fox wants Darby Allin out here right now, so that cues up Allen saying that he wants the whole story. The people deserve the whole story. Allen lived with Fox and his demons, but now Fox, he says that now Fox had, made it to AEW on his own. He was able to overcome his demons. So he says congratulations on doing that, but he says that's not his fault. So all of this is about the fact that Darby Allin got a job for Nick Wayne and didn't get a job for AR Fox. Likes his white friends more than his black friends. Darby Allin says that now Fox has some friends. Well, Darby says, I have some friends of my own. The lights go out, and when they come back on, it's Sting! He hits everyone with the bat, taking them all out. AR Fox gets the fuck up out of there because he's a smart man. That's the East Coast. They get the fuck up out of there. Trouble's on here. I'm out of here. He was already in the crowd. Swerve is still in the ring. He gets confronted by Sting, who basically signals to the all-in sign, making a challenge to Swerve Strickland and Mogul Embassy. And then Sting also turns to the camera, and he's got a bit of the Joker face paint on. So I don't know if this is a new direction. And then after this, we get the announcement that it's official at AEW All in London, the first ever tag team coffin match in AEW history. Sting and Darby Allin versus Swerve Strickland and AR Fox of Mogul Embassy. I kind of called this. I said this. I said it's either going to be Sting and Darby versus Mogul Embassy, a multi-man match, or Sting and Darby versus Christian and Luchasaurus. But
Jesus,
I'm fine with this
Christ.
after last week.
Did you just say you guessed it and then gave us 27 different options what it could have been?
3 options. Yeah, you're right. I said earlier when black people hear 3 options, they think 57.
This should have been the main event segment.
You think this should have been the main event segment? Wow.
Yes, because anyone with that women's match felt like a wet fart. The match was
fine.
This
did get a big reaction from the crowd.
Yeah, people love Sting. I like Sting. Love was for fucking 25 years ago, but this will do. This was fun enough at least. I don't think this is the appropriate response to an attempted murder. I mean, probably need a bit more than talking after you try to murder a fucking 12-year-old on national television. It's a wild idea. However, I will say this. I don't know who AR Fox talked to. I don't know what he did. Maybe he gave some product to Tony Khan. But he feels like quite the star these days. You got to come out with Swerve behind everybody else. He's at All In against Sting. What? Congratulations, brother. I'm proud of you.
All right. So now that this match has been announced, I could tell y'all some information here. So I had it on good authority all the way back, I would say before Double or Nothing, that All In or All Out would see Sting and Darby Allin versus Swerve Strickland and Brian Cage in a coffin match. I was told this before Double or Nothing in May. I kept it under wraps because of the source that I got it from, and don't want to mess up his new job either. But that's all I want. If you're watching this far in, you're a fan of us, so I'm able to share this stuff. I can't share it early in when the newbies are here, but you guys are family. I can share with y'all. I can share that with Jimmy. But yeah, I was told that in May. So I don't know what happened between May and now, but Brian Gage got demoted. AR Fox got promoted to the spot.
Oy, how I feel about that? SP3 Select, absolutely. Because I watched Collision and I thought Brian Cage was fucking fantastic.
He was great. He was great in that match. He might have been the MVP of that match.
Right. Oh wow. No matter.
Now he's teaming more with Big Bill too, so that's another reason why they probably made that change.
I'm not mad at it. I actually prefer this match. I'm not gonna get on Tony Khan's case, as per usual. We kind of ran through the Cage thing stuff. Did it so many times. This is fine.
Yeah,
this is fine.
Yeah, I think like Cage and Sting being in the ring together will just remind you too much of like Sting's first feud in AEW. Yes. So it made more sense it being Fox and Swerve.
I wonder if Fox works as a heel.
I don't know, but I pretty much know he's going to be probably doing the majority of his work with Darby during that matchup.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say he's taking the fall, which is also correct.
Oh, well, yeah, he's going in the coffin. He's definitely going in the coffin.
This is going to be fun. This is yeah.
He murdered a teen. He murdered a teen on live television.
These two black guys murdered a white teen in Seattle, and there are no consequences. Absolutely. That's how that works. We're above the law.
Sean saying Keith Lee is like, what about me? Keith Lee is like, let me find something else to do. Finally, I can find something else to do. Chase says SP3 Select. Last time I saw him, he did a 6-man tag with the Hardys on Rampage. He's stuck in a nigger hole on Rampage.
That's what the fuck's he gotta do here. Miro fucking all right. Andrade got out. Brian Cage. How the fuck can we get fucking Keith Lee something to do, please? Got an extra 2 hours now. We can't find him something to do. Matter of fact, he should challenge after Punk and Joe. It should be Punk and Keith Lee. That is my hopes and dreams.
That's a good shout. I think we're getting the third Ricky match after Punk and Joe, but yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Either or.
Ricky's been great.
Yeah.
Ricky's been on.
And you heard that was Ricky Steamboat's idea to do the beatdown after the match?
I did. Still giving back to the business. Thank you, sir.
Shout out to Cam Hawkins, who revealed that over on House of Wrestling. We had Cam on True Hill Heat 237 on Saturday. So check that out, where he talked about his friendship with Ricky Starks a little bit there, too.
Right. Because Ricky Starks needed that after that loss.
Yeah.
I thought it worked big time.
Even though the loss was cheap, like you could both of y'all can say y'all really haven't beaten each other, and it's pretty similar to the whole reasoning why Joe is getting another match, because he's like, a roll up is not worthy of our legacy. Like, I love that Joe promo. The Joe challenge and the FTR challenge. Like I said, the promos were top tier on Collision, really while the match quality I thought was a notch down. They definitely leveled up with the promos.
Indeed. The Joe promo probably third for me. Then the Christian promo was hilarious. But number one, I'll let you choose between the Ricky Starks beating or the Ricky Starks sprinting up the ramp as Punk throws a steel chair at his head. Ricky Starks running away like a child is hilarious. I don't care what anybody says. That was fucking brilliant. Or Juice humping the floor. That's up there too.
Oh, no. Bullet Club Gold on commentary. Bullet Club Gold on commentary. I'm sorry. The gun saying that when Juice is all hyped up, he said, Juice is not even rock hard right now. He's a semi. I was like, no! I was like, no!
They've lost their fucking minds. That's that cardboard cutout they use now. It's just all this
Card blade. The fact that they call it card blade.
Yeah, he called it cardboard.
He said card blade. Now they're calling it card blade.
Nigel called it something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fuck. Anyway.
J Card Blade White, and then
whiteboard or something.
And then the touching tips. The fact that they do the touching tips now, we're just touching tips. Put your tips in. They're the Bang Bang Gang, and the guns up. They touch tips.
Right. These guys are fucking hilarious.
So great.
Jay White's playing a straight man. It's so weird to see Jay White play a straight guy. Thank you, sir. Card blade J board or something like that. It was fucking ridiculous. I was like, that is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, Big Man Dog saying I think it was Carblade J board or something like that.
Yeah.
Trey saying pause SP3 googly foogly. I'm repeating, Trey. You have to understand when you're repeating what someone else says, you pause them. You don't pause me. I am merely a recapper.
Yes, it's been a while, but he is from Harlem. He does have he's got a PhD in pausomics.
Exactly. I know the rules on pausing. like got a PhD in it. It is what it is. We got John saying Keith Lee went from wizard to catering. Sheesh.
God damn. Get out of there if you can.
Yeah, for all that, Trey, I would agree with Trey. Put him on ROH. Let him go after the ROH TV title. If you're not going to use him on AEW.
That's a good point.
That is a great point. And he's the ROH original. He started in ROH. Yeah, that's a good shout. Good shout.
That should be the main event for the next whatever pay-per-view they have.
Facts. Joe versus Keith Lee. I'll sell some pay-per-views. Shit. But yeah, a lot of different comments here and Frantic World. Yes. Throwing guns up, touch tips. Anyway, let's move on to the main event of this show. We do have the lineups, of course, for all the shows that's coming up. All the aforementioned stuff for Dynamite, as well as the Bunny versus Dr. Britt Baker DMD. Winner goes to All In. The final participant in the four-way. You're also going to see Darby Allin and Nick Wayne versus the Gates of Agony. Hopefully Nick Wayne is alive by that point. And then on Rampage, we got Orange Cassidy versus Johnny TV for the AEW International Championship. And you also got Saraya versus Sky Blue. Winner goes on to All In.
Those are some rough ones. Luckily, we didn't mention.
I would say there's actually stakes for these matches, so it actually is a little bit more effort than the typical last week's ramp. I mean, no, the week before, because last week's had the parking lot fight. That was worth watching. The week before that, there was nothing. I've seen, that's them not trying. This is them actually trying.
I appreciate the little bit of effort. By the way, props to Tony Khan, which I never do, because he doesn't deserve them, so I don't give him. But I will give it to him now. He didn't fold his cards for SummerSlam. He definitely went for it. It didn't work, but god damn it, you went for it. And I appreciate it.
417,000 views.
Ooh. And they did a almost high last week with
739. Yeah, it was just a couple of maybe like 70,000 less than the premiere. They were riding. They were going. They did the first week good. The last week was down. The next week was down. Then they were up. They were up. They were up. And then they went against SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was gonna be bad when I was on Twitter, and I heard not a peep about Collision. While some stuff was going on, I was like, "Oh, this is bad." Okay, fair enough. But listen, this is how it works.
That's nothing they can control. They can't control that unless Warner Bros. is going to give them the opportunity to be like, "Hey, this week in September, we want to start at 6 instead of 8." And you do it on WWE pay-per-view days. You start at 6 instead of 8. Maybe you could do something like that. But other than that, there's nothing they can do. 400,000. Now they have set the bar for what they do against a WWE pay-per-view. Though
it's fucking Rampage numbers. What was I gonna say? Are they always on Saturdays? WWE reviews?
Yes. Stop.
Oh, all right. Once a month. You're gonna get, and SummerSlam's one of the bigger ones. To be fair, it's the number 2 show.
Payback, not exactly the same competition.
I'm looking at that card. Like, even this game, they give us the best card possible. This card is shit.
Who? What? For what?
Payback. Like Jimmy and Jay, and then.
Oh yeah, no Roman. Yeah. And then we don't even know what Cody's doing because they didn't even take time. That's the one nitpick I did have on Raw. They didn't they start the show with Cody, and we don't know what Cody's doing after Brock. We still know. 3 hours on that fucking show I watched, and I'm like, what is Cody doing next?
You got
And then the Shinsuke turn was so obvious. I was like, Seth, if you can't tell this nigga's about to turn on you, like, like he just randomly popped up and was like, "I'll take Sam."
Oh,
looking like Dave Chappelle as Prince.
yeah, it was a while. And then Shinsuke and Rollins and Jermaine.
That's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, fucking Collision should be fine.
A Monday Night Raw, middle of the second hour matchup. It's your world title program. Anyway, main event time. You had Hikaru Shida defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Anna Jay, who's still being accompanied by 2.0, Cool Hand, Angelo Parker, and Daddy Magic, Matt Menard. Hikaru Shida got a good response from these fans, but the fans weren't very much into this matchup. And I mean, do we blame them? But they had a fine little matchup. This was solid work from both ladies here. Anna Jay tends to have her better matches against Hikaru Shida, because it's Hikaru Shida, not because it's Anna Jay. But yeah, eventually Hikaru Shida is able to make her comeback. She has a big Falcon Arrow and only gets a 2 count. She then sets her up for the Katana. She hits Katana on Anna Jay while while Cool Hand is basically trying to pull Anna Jay out of the ring. And the referee just says, I don't even see him. 1, 2, 3. Hikaru Shida wins this matchup, this main event matchup that got 8 minutes, 44 seconds. Hikaru Shida getting the win, but on the bright side for the women's division, Hikaru Shida becomes the first woman in AEW history to win back-to-back main events of Dynamite. Hikaru Shida standing tall, and she tells the camera she's heading to Wembley. So far we know the 4-way at Wembley will be Hikaru Shida defending against former champion Toni Storm, and the winner of Saraya versus Sky Blue, Britt Baker versus Bunny next week. What did you think about the main event?
The main event was fine. It's rough when you have a title match 1 week after a title change, because this could have been fucking Jamie Hayter. We all know Sheeta's winning. The fact that it was Anna Jay only fucking quadrupled that likelihood.
The only title you could do this with is the TNT title, because then we would actually believe it was gonna take hands in.
This should have been the main event. I appreciate Strong. I understand that we're reeling from the fact that we've been shit with the women's division, and we don't want to hear people shitting on us and bringing sides. So we have this main event twice. However, Swerve should have main evented. You just should have. You always end with a cliffhanger, is not the right word, but something that leads you into the next week. And this didn't do that at all. So that one.
Honestly, based on everything and that point exactly, I would say Young Bucks and Hardys should have main evented. Because then you close on the announcement of FTR versus Young Bucks at All In. I know you don't like that, but you're going out on a high. That's what you actually that was the mission. That's a high of the show.
I'm taking Sting over them. No offense.
We got Roxy who says this could have been the opener. That's one thing I don't think they've ever done. Have they ever done a women's opener to Dynamite?
That's a good question. I want to say they have.
Maybe they've had them in the first matchup, but I know when they did do that, usually there's a segment before that. But I want to know if there's ever been an episode of Dynamite that starts with a women's matchup. Like how Orange Cassidy, we hear his song start off the show for a title match. I want a woman's song to start off the show.
That's a good question. Not many people you could do it with. I don't think this is the right one for her. Anna Jay, while she's in there with Sheeta, she's still Anna Jay. No offense.
Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah. I would say someone like Jamie Hayter or even like the Toni Storm. You can get one of them to kick off the show. Even maybe next week with Britt Baker and the Bunny. If they keep that to a reasonable amount of time, like 7-8 minutes, I think it should be an RA match.
Oh, I mean, the Bunny, is this her first match back?
Yeah.
I'd be wary. Britt Baker in Pittsburgh. I feel like she was close to showing Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. The Pittsburgh show, when they did the tag match of Britt and Jamie versus Tony and Saraya. That was the first matchup that opened the show. No. I was right. One Mike Nation. They had that awful Sammy Jungle Boy Darby promo before that, and then they did that magic.
Ooh, check you out. Check you out. Yeah. Weird. You could have been like one of those motherfuckers who interpret things during the war.
My missus
You're born.
always says she wishes I would remember things around the house like I do wrestling.
Fair enough. Because some of our buddies ring rust coming back. But who knows? She could be fine.
Should be fine. We got Big Man Dogs who says Tony will have to open up his wallet when one of the big WWE women's contract is up. Part of the reason the division never got momentum is because they had no draws at day one.
Ooh, that's a very fair point. Yeah,
that is a fair point. The only draw they had was someone who couldn't wrestle anymore, really. Awesome Kong.
Right. Yeah.
That was the most known woman they had from the beginning.
All things considered, well, the women's division has had stretches where it's been outright awful. If you look at where they were from day one to where they are now, they built like 3 stars, which isn't terrible. It's not a terrible number. All things considered. Hader, Baker, and I guess Sheeta, I suppose. It's not terrible. That's not a bad ratio. In 4 years, how long it's been.
And we'll see if we can add Rosa to that. If she's still over when she comes back, you can add her as well. Say she's the 4th name. So yeah.
That's not bad.
And if Riho would ever get a visa and stay for a while, we would have her as the 5th name. I'm sorry. I had to bring that up because I'm like, Riho is ridiculously over every time she's here, but she's never here. She's
so good.
She's the female pack.
That's a great analogy. Exactly her.
We got Drew says the same person who told you about Sting Darby versus Swerve Cage told me that the women's 4-way was happening. I hope AEW is taking this division seriously to have a big marquee match like this. I actually put that women's 4-way together, and I said it on here. Didn't I say it on here that was probably what they were going to do? Yeah, and I literally called the people who were going to be in the matchup too, because Britt Baker's beating Bunny and Saraya's beating Sky Blue. It's the same 4 people I said on here a few weeks ago.
Yeah. And I completely agreed because they love their 4-ways when they have nothing else. Just throw 8 titties in there and fucking figure it out.
You said 8 titties.
Got 8 titties, 2, 4, 6, 8. Roll out.
I did like them showing the history of their 4-ways. They haven't had that many. They had like what they show highlights of like 4. They had the one from January 2020, the one from All Out, the one from Grand Slam. Basically, those were the main ones that I remember.
I miss Jimmy Hader. I just do.
We got Alan who says, "What's up, everyone? Just got a break at work so I can watch you guys for a few minutes. Jimmy is the best, and SP3 is the real king of king."
I don't know what that means. He's the king of kings, but I'm the best. I feel like you're trying to play me, sir.
No, I feel like he's trying to play me by giving me Triple H's nickname. Annika says, "Someone tell me why Athena isn't in one of these qualifying matches because she's more concerned with defending her Ring of Honor Women's World Championship."
She's a Ring of Honor. Yes, it should be considered equal. It isn't, but is she considered equal to the EW belt? Willow's a great fucking question.
I will answer that. Jimmy drafted Willow in the Collision draft. She's on Collision now. She'll be on Collision this Saturday. You wanted your people on one show.
That's fair.
That's my answer. We got Drew who says, "I want to swerve where Sky Blue wins instead of Saraya. They've been having Sky win a lot lately. Maybe Saraya just gets the hometown pop on the outside supporting Tony. Sky has been doing great." Come on. I can tell you laugh. You giggled typing that, Drew, because you're like, man, they ain't going to do that. They're going to put Saraya.
Right. It's one person I'm sure of. Mike, I see him doing a sort of Baker, like, I mean, most off chance. Saraya's going to be in the fucking match. Come on. It's fucking in England. Listen, Vince booking? Then maybe.
Yeah,
Vince finds it hilarious. I don't know why. He just does.
He's like, have a lose in England. Yeah. Guys, sound off in the live chat. Give us your match of the night. MVP, LVP, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give the show? For me and Jimmy, we give the August 9th, 2023 edition of AEW Dynamite. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board. Jimmy, what did you give the show out of 10?
I'm gonna go with a 7.75. I'm taking points away for closing with the nobody cares women's title match. Sorry. It's gonna go 8. If you switch Swerve in this, it's an 8.
Ooh. I am going to say I'm going to give the show. I was firmly on 7, but I'm going to push it up to 7.5 because I absolutely adore that MJF Adam Cole segment. Like, I think that's one of the best segments as far as like elevating a story and multiple people in the story at the same time. Yeah, that accomplished that.
Very efficient.
Some good wrestling throughout the night. So yeah, I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
I'm shocked. I'm so much higher than everybody else. This is weird. It's not usually our spot.
We got Drew, who gives it an 8 out of 10. We got Frantic World, 7.5 out of 10.
Really? Tony Khan's fucking burner account gave it a 7.5. Really?
He got to get you off the scent. We got Asu says thumbs up, 7.5 out of 10. Louis gives it an 8 out of 10. Thumbs up. Alan, 8 out of 10 as well. Jimmy, what was your match of the night?
Oh, that's a good question. There was no great matches, I thought. There were a lot of really good ones. I'm actually going to go with RVD and Jack Perry.
Wow. I did not expect you to say that.
I'm sorry. It's the least offensive one to me. That's the best way to put it.
I'm going to go with Blackpool Combat Club versus Lucha Bros. I thought that was a very good, hard-hitting tag team matchup, so I'll go with that. MVP, Jimmy.
I'm going to go with a tie. I hate doing codes, but I got to go. It's MJF and it's Roderick Strong. Shit just is. Roderick Strong was too funny for me not to give him something. Holy shit, that was great.
I'm going to have to agree with you. I'll throw Cole in there as well. 3-way tie. Better than you, baby, with Roderick Strong. Like, bad. Like, and I got to give Adam Cole and MJF credit for the trampoline park segment as well. So, yeah, I give them all. I give them all the MVP. LVP for you, Jimmy.
Hoy. I'm gonna go with Jericho and company. Just this thing died on the vine. That's a shame. It's over. Let's move on with life.
Got to give it to Chris Jericho. He's about one level below Jey Uso in the fact that he has no friends and his friends always turn on him. Jey has his family always turn on him, so that's a lot worse. But he's one level below that. So I got to get Jericho as the LVP for all his friends leaving him. But that brings us to a close on another AEWramble. We got Big Man Dawes who says, so maybe I give Roderick a positive LVP. And then MJF gets the MVP. I love that.
What? Sure.
We got Louis who says the kids from the trampoline park were trash at dodgeball.
Absolutely. No head movement, no body movement.
Yeah, it's coming towards your arms. You don't even try to catch it. You catch it, he's out. Like, what are we doing? Frantic World saying Adam, MJF, and Cheetah as MVP. Frantic World also saying Roderick Strong and Chris Jericho LVP. And Ace says MVP, MJF, and Adam Cole. Jimmy, let the people know where they can follow you on social media. And I must say, I've been watching back our Atlanta reaction and reviews. I laugh every time at us laughing because we don't even say a lot to each other. We usually talk during dialogue on shows. We're literally just watching, listening, and laughing.
Giggling. The school children. I have a blast. So yeah, you're watching Atlanta over on Jimmy Macram. YouTube.com/Jimmy Macram. I suppose you could just search it. It works the same. You dummies. And on Twitter, where I'm sorry, I occasionally talk about wrestling and search for bad takes. But a lot of times I'm just liking posts where thieves get shot or things like this. I just find them so entertaining. I don't know why. It could be something wrong with me. It's entirely possible. It's just.
I would say so.
I swear I rewound this one part like 12 times. This guy gets shot in the leg. He's just ow, ow. Like a cartoon character. This is amazing. Sorry. To be fair, he deserved it. If I clear this up, he deserved to get shot. That's the whole point of the video.
I just don't understand sometimes, and like it's like I want to press the trigger on you, and then sometimes I'm like, really, it takes a while for everything to absorb and me realize what you say, so I can do.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Nobody died. I mean, well, in the video, a lot of people died. Like, quite a few motherfuckers died. But in this particular part of the video, he just gets shot in the leg and screams like a cartoon character. All right.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.
Okay, here's what I'm saying. Last take. Did you see that? First of all, CM Punk's the best promo in wrestling. And when he's not trying, it just flows out effortlessly. Then you have him on Collision, this scripted horseshit? Are you fucking serious? Austin, Punk, and fucking Eddie Kingston should never have anything scripted ever. Let them speak. What's wrong with you?
Oh, you need to watch yesterday's G1 only to listen to Eddie on commentary. Eddie was fucking fantastic on commentary. It was like a even more New York Taz.
Oh my God. Can I ask you a question? Are you bothered by the Dynamite commentary? I find myself annoyed. There's way too much giggling and fucking.
What was going on? There was like one moment where like it sounded like Taz was coming at Tony, and Tony got quiet for a little while. Like they just like it just seems to be an issue between Tony and Taz and Excalibur. I feel like Taz and Excalibur are having fun with each other, and they're like picking on Tony because he's old.
Maybe it's entirely possible.
It's either that or Tony doesn't get the jokes because he's too old. It's either one of those. Yeah, it's one of those.
Out of the loop. It is what it is. 3-man boosts rarely work.
We got Trey who says, I need Jimmy reviewing music.
I considered it.
Do it. We'll review Get Rich or Die Trying on his channel. Check out all the great stuff. Yes, I agree. Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHeelSP3. I listened to that throughout freshman year of high school. That never left my CD player.
And it holds up till today. That's just amazing.
No skips. It's one of the no fucking skips. Like all his tracks on that album is a banger or a hit. Like, oh my God. But yes, check me out, True Hill SP3. Today I am dropping my star rating. It's one day late. I apologize for that. I've been busy with the kids this week, so I apologize for that. But I'll have my star ratings out later today on my Twitter machine. But check out all the great content right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, like Collision Discourse with myself and Sober Guy JJ reviewing this week's AEW Collision. Also, check out our WWE SummerSlam review. This was not a SummerSlam review, even if you're confused. This was a little bit of it, in Jimmy's opinion. If you want the full review, check it out on the channel right now. And of course, check out all the great content. Hit the subscribe button. I'll be back here tomorrow, 12:05 p.m. Eastern Time, with Dark Side of the Ring review for Marty Jannetty episode. And on Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, True Hill Heat Flash Hit Podcast. Me and Jimmy will be back here next Thursday. But for Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 106. Shake it off. We are signing off until next time.